All right, today we're solving multiple step equations again, but this time we're going to do it in the context of some shapes. So the first idea we need to remember about shapes is what is perimeter, and that is the distance around an object, or the distance around a shape. So thinking about how we would find that, we would need to add all of the sides around the shape to get our perimeter. Our next question says, what is area? That is the amount of space inside the shape. And it depends on the type of shape we're looking at for how we would find that area, that space inside. So our next question looks like we're dealing with a rectangle, and it asks us, what do we know about the side lengths of rectangles? Well, I know that the sides across from each other are the same. So that means that the side length 41 is going to be equal to the side length 3y plus 14, and the side length 2x minus 6 should be equal to the side length 12. So let me write that opposite sides, or sides across from each other, opposite sides are equal. They have the same measure. So it gives us space down here, and it says write and solve an equation for x. So I know that the 2x minus 6 is supposed to be the same as or equal to 12, so that's what my equation would look like. 2x minus 6 equals 12 because they're supposed to be the same. And then it says to solve it. So I'm going to draw my line down. Don't call me after midnight. So I'm thinking through my steps. D for distribute, I don't need to do that. C for combine like terms, I don't need to do that. M for move the variable to one side, also don't need to do that. But I do need to add and subtract. I need to add 6 on both sides. Then I would have 2x equals 18. So I'm done with that step. The only other thing to do, M for multiply and divide. I need to divide 2 on both sides to get x equals 9. And so I'm done with all my steps. Now I need to do the same thing and solve an equation for y. So I need to match up the sides that went together. So 2y plus 14 should be the same as 41. So 2y plus 14 equals 41. Let me think about my steps again. Don't call me after midnight. I don't need to distribute. Don't need to combine like terms. Don't need to move a variable to one side. But I do need to add and subtract again. I need to subtract 14. So when I subtract 14, I get 27 on the right and 3y on the left. So I'm done with that step. Now I need to divide on both sides, divide by 3. So I will end up with y equals 9. So I've solved for both x and y. And now below, they're asking me to find the perimeter. So I have to add up all the sides. I can see that these two sides are easy to add up, 41 and 12. I don't really know what the bottom side is yet. I only know that y is 9. So I need to plug that in and do 3 times 9 plus 14. And 3 times 9 is 27. 27 plus 14 gets me 41. Oh wait, I should have known that already because it should be the same as that top side. It's supposed to be equal, so I should have known already that that was going to be 41. That tells me that this side over here is going to be 12 already. So now I need to add all 4 up. So I'm going to do 41 plus 41, since there's 2 of those, plus 12 plus 12, since there's 2 of those also, and get my total perimeter. And my calculator tells me that that is going to be 106 for the outside. And now I'm supposed to find the area. And for a rectangle, area is length times width, or you might have heard it as base times height. Either way, I'm supposed to multiply, in this problem, 41 times 12 to get my answer. And that would give me 492. Now, when we do area, whatever the units are, and in this case I don't know, we will put units squared by it to show that we've multiplied two things together. So that's our first look at area and perimeter. Now we're going to do a couple more on the back. On the back we have a triangle, and it has the perimeter of the triangle below is 38 inches. Determine the value of x and the length of each side of the triangle. So let me read that again and find the important stuff. The perimeter of the triangle below is 38 inches. So they gave me units I need to use this time, and that said it was the perimeter. So that means to me I'm going to add all the sides. It also said determine the value of x. That means this determine the value of x, that means find x, solve for x, and the length of each side. So I'm going to say find x and the sides. So I can't just stop once I get my answer for x. So the only thing they told me was a perimeter, and that means add everything up. So I'm going to make one long equation that adds everything up. So I've got x plus 7 from here. I've got 2x plus 1 that I'm adding on from the second side, and then I'm also adding 3x from the third side, and it's supposed to equal the perimeter, which they told me was 38. So I added all three sides and got my total for the perimeter. Now I get to solve this. So don't call me after midnight. Let me draw my line down. D for distribute. I don't need to distribute. There are no parentheses with a number in front. C for combine like terms. I do need to do that. I have an x here, and I'm going to write that that's 1x. I have a positive 2x, and I have a positive 3x. If I add 1x plus 2x plus 3x, I get 6x. I also have a plus 7 and a plus 1. Regular numbers can combine, so that would give me plus 8, and it still equals 38. So I'm done combining like terms. M is for move variables to one side. That's already happened, so I don't need to do that. A for add and subtract, I do need to do. I need to subtract 8 on both sides. So that would turn into only 6x on this side and 30 on the right. My last M for multiply and divide, I need to do that also. I need to divide by 6 on both sides. So then I can get my final answer for x. X equals 5. So I'm halfway done with the problem because I was supposed to find x and find the sides. So if I look back up at my triangle, x is 5. Let me write that down up here again, that x is 5. To find the side lengths, I need to put 5 in wherever I see an x and figure out how big the sides are. So I'm going to start with the red side. If I do 5 plus 7, that means this side is 12. That's hard to read a little bit. Better. So the red side's 12. If I look at the blue side, I need to do 2 times 5 plus 1. That's 10 plus 1, so that side is 11. Now I do the bottom side, the green side, that's 3 times 5, and that makes that side 15. So my value for x is 5, and then the 3 sides I was supposed to find were 11, 12, and 15. And I should write them out with the unit. So I'm going to write that the sides are 12 inches, 11 inches, and 15 inches. And then I can be done with this problem.